Hansel and Gretel live in a small cottage at the edge of a dark forest with their kind but poor father, a woodcutter, and their cruel stepmother. A famine strikes the land, and food becomes scarce. One evening, as Hansel and Gretel lie in bed, they overhear their stepmother whispering to their father. "There is not enough food for all of us," she says. "We must take the children deep into the forest and leave them there. It is the only way we can survive." Their father protests, but the stepmother insists. Hansel, hearing this, comforts his crying sister and sneaks outside, collecting small white pebbles under the moonlight. The next morning, the stepmother wakes Hansel and Gretel early and leads them deep into the forest with their father. As they walk, Hansel secretly drops the white pebbles along the path. By noon, they reach a clearing, and their parents tell them to rest while they gather wood. But as the sun sets, their parents never return. Gretel begins to cry, but Hansel points to the pebbles glowing in the moonlight. "Look, Gretel, I left a trail. We can follow it home." When Hansel and Gretel return home, their father is overjoyed, but their stepmother is furious. Days later, she locks the cottage door so Hansel cannot collect pebbles. The next morning, she drags them back into the forest, giving them only a small piece of bread. This time, Hansel crumbles his bread and drops the pieces along the path. But when night falls, they realize birds have eaten the crumbs. There is no way home. Lost and frightened, they wander deeper into the forest. After wandering for hours, they spot something magical in the distance, a house made of gingerbread, candy, and sugar. Starving, they rush forward and begin nibbling on the walls. Suddenly, a kind-looking old woman appears at the door. "Come inside, my children," she says sweetly. "There is plenty of food for you here." Little do they know, she is an evil witch who lures children to eat them. As soon as the children enter, the witch locks Hansel in a cage. "You will be my feast," she cackles. She forces Gretel to cook and clean, preparing a meal to fatten up her brother. Days pass, and Hansel tricks the witch by showing her a small bone instead of his finger whenever she checks if he's plump enough. The witch, nearly blind, believes he is still too thin. One day, she grows impatient. "Tomorrow, I will eat Hansel, whether he is fat or not," she shouts. The next morning, the witch orders Gretel to heat the oven. But Gretel, thinking fast, pretends not to know how. "Foolish girl," the witch hisses, opening the oven to show her. At that moment, Gretel shoves her inside and slams the door shut. The witch screams as she is consumed by flames. Gretel frees Hansel, and together they find the witch's treasure chest. Filling their pockets with gold, they run out of the house and soon find their way home. Their father, who has been mourning them, welcomes them with tears of joy. The wicked stepmother has left, and the family is finally happy. Moral of the story: courage and cleverness can help overcome difficult situations.
Please like and subscribe my channel for more such stories.